moon on Miley. When I pop out like lightning. Polished, briefcase, no wallet. Just blew a bag like Scotsman. Killed that, in the AM going real fast. UK honey at the drill that bondsman. Bailed out, no conflict. Might have said I love her, but I never made a promise.
Welcome to the Admin Mastermind in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona, where for the next 3 days, members from all over the world have flown here today to learn how to scale their coaching, course, or agency business past 7 figures and beyond. I got my good friends and guest speakers, Cole Gordon, David Dre, and Clark Kegley, teaching everything you need to know to be able to scale your business past 7 and 8 figures using sales, sales team management, leadership, YouTube organic, and most importantly, what we do best at adspend.com, YouTube ads. A mastermind is very simple. You want to take away 1, 2, maybe 3 things that can help you immediately scale your business to the next level or grow personally and professionally. And that's exactly what these members are about to do themselves too. Let's go. All right, let's start with the introductions. We'll go around the room, just share. Obviously, again, no ego here. Just talk about what you guys are wanting to accomplish, and we'll get going on day 1 and start masterminding.
What I want to get from this event, what I'm looking to do is to be able to walk away. In the evenings, I'm going to do some work and have my action plan of how I'm going to do that, get myself out of the business. So I just want to make some great connections. Nice, intimate group. Looking forward to it.
What I want to get out of the event, either how to structure a deal better, how to communicate better, or to take on more control, great ideas, and an execution plan of who to hire or in what order, or yeah, basically that.
Some things I want to get from this event, look into what others did to get to that point of 300, 500K a month, where to put my focus, and then insights into YouTube data from other established people.
Things I want to learn here, YouTube ads, because again, we're not running any ads. This goes hand in hand, but increase the number and quality of leads because our sales team is dialed. All our numbers in that are amazing. It's just turning the number up of quality bookings. That's just the clear whole.
What I want to get from this event is just continuing to improve my current mindset as get a path forward to the goals that I want to achieve.
I want to get mainly just sales from this event. That's something I'm working on a lot as well, building sales teams, operating them. And also a little bit more YouTube organic sauce doesn't really help. I'm hurt.
Things that are blocking me right now from where I want to be is I'm still responsible for a lot of the fulfillment within our agency. I'm on the back end side, and so on the operations side, I haven't been able to delegate as much as I would like. Still responsible for all the copy for our clients as well as video review. So finding a way to delegate that without sacrificing quality.
Finding and hiring a better team, as well as being able to scale lean and not make all this revenue and then put so much back into the business and in the team, and then not have enough to actually put more into ads to actually continue to grow the business.
I would say is just lead quality, consistency. Same thing with Jesse when it comes to trading. Just consistently having people that can afford it and figuring out, what's the best way to do that, whether that be running webinars or ads, and overall just consistency with quality of leads.
The sales processes, we never really did any one-call sales, so for me that's a brand new thing that I'm trying to figure out. Scaling the ads and basically getting over my roadblock of content, which is my biggest issue right now.
Some things I want to get out of this event is some more long-form experience. I'm kind of like the queen of short-form videos, so this is really interesting to be here. And some more insight on the YouTube algorithm, because I've specialized in more like TikTok and Instagram. Got into YouTube Shorts a little bit. It worked, but I want to learn some more about the longer versions.
Well, first of all, it's hiring and then delegating, right? Like some of you are still doing everything, and that's causing you constraints so you can't scale, because it's hard to find people who can do the job. So where do you find them? And then how do you train them, and how do you manage them, and then have them do a good job just like you're doing? That was the one that I noticed. The second one is the opportunity for ads. There's about 4 of you that have opportunity to scale with ads right now for YouTube ads. So that's huge low-hanging fruit. And then the other one's just sales. Some of you are agencies that are bottlenecked for your growth because you have rev share deals, but partners you have, their teams can't close the sales, therefore you can't make more money. And so you're in this conundrum where it's like, well, do I find more clients or do I just tackle that problem? I don't know how to do that, right? It's just like, should I do that or should I just stick to what I know? And then even sales for yourself too, it sounds like is a big thing. Just being able to consistently close clients and charge what you're worth as well. So that way you're not skimping on your prices. So the network is a very, very powerful tool. Like I've hired everybody from my network. But the only way you can do that is if you have a personal brand and something that you can actually pull from, right? So how do you actually do that? Well, you got to create the content that's stopping you, right?
Like for example, the guy that I brought on as a sales manager, you know, he was managing multiple teams that were in like the 700 to $1 million range per month. And I got him to come on at 180 per month, right? But it was kind of leveraging a little bit of my network. But also just, you know, I think people can sense your vision and they can sense your direction as well. That's a big thing. You know, just negotiating is a really, really good skill to have. But I get the point of, you know, sometimes you have to have some B players. And there are some positions that is, you know, you don't have to have an A player VA or something, for example. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? But like for like a sales manager, something, you know, those kinds of positions, yeah, I feel like, and it takes some time, and there'll be an iteration process, as with anything. You'll fire people. You're not going to find them. I mean, maybe you find them the first luck of the draw. I didn't. But yeah.
I think it's really good timing for you to be here. I actually met Cam and Presley very recently, and they helped me. We had a couple conversations, and this month I've onboarded 6 clients since our conversation. And I simply did that just by listening to them. And they just told me, take the path of least resistance, listen to what you're best at, and if you don't need to be doing something, delegate it. And now my partner, I gave him a little bit more equity in the company. He's my full-time operator, and we've multiplied exponentially literally in the past 3 weeks, simply because they had this conversation with me. So I think this is going to be really good for you, because I think you just need a little bit of mental clarity. I don't know if you have a mentor or like a good group where you're at right now, but it sounds like you just have a lot of opportunity, and this happened to me in the past 3 months. A lot of opportunity exploded. I tried to put my hand in every single basket, and it just really diminished my value, and they kind of knocked me into shape and told me to lock in, and I locked in and it worked. So this is all good advice that they're saying it works for sure. You just kind of have to listen to yourself, and I know you mentioned like in a perfect life, like you can create your perfect life. So if you just listen to what you want to do, you can make it a perfect life. You just right now you think, oh, there's this factor, there's that factor, like just focus. I don't know if anyone meditates, like meditate, read, journal, just really put your thoughts on the paper and think, this is what I'm good at, this is what I'm going to start doing, and this is what I need to delegate to scale that.
The best clients want you to take the lead. This is something took me a while to realize. Cam has really helped me with the mindset aspect of this, because I had trouble serving myself with clients for a while, right? And it's a question I'll ask in a bit, but you know, we had a situation recently where we had a client that we were crushing it for. He referred us to this other guy. We got an iMessage group chat, we FaceTime this guy, and this is like one of the memes about the $1,000 client versus like $10,000 client type situation. We hop in this call. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to be back for 3 weeks, but just like, didn't even ask about price. Just send me the invoice and the agreement. Like, I'm not even back in town for 3 weeks. I won't be able to film, but like, I'm just ready to lock in with you guys. Didn't even ask about strategy, our process. He's just like, yeah, make me some dope videos. We'll figure it out. Sure enough, like probably going to be like one of our sickest case studies, and like has literally been the definition of a dream client.
You have to almost work backwards rather than like what you think is going to go viral. It's like, what aspects of the client's personality can I bring to light? And when you think from that frame, everything becomes way more clear, because like what we've even gone and done with our clients is like created like mood boards. Like we will literally like go on Google Slides and create like a bunch of different like images and like text and like little things just to best represent like this is how they think and this is what they like and this is what they enjoy. You know, another example of that would be like just sitting down and chopping it up with your client on an hour-long call and just interviewing them, like have a conversation with them and ask good questions. Like I think that's something Cam and I have done fairly well is, you know, we have a really good relationship with our clients, working with them in person, and a big advantage of that is we're, you know, getting cigars with them, we're getting dinners, and we have to ask them these questions, not just about their business, but, you know, who they are as people as well, because that stuff should also be shown in content, because that's how you build a moat. You know, it's not just about the education, the information, but it's about their story as well. And that's also a video format that, you know, unsurprisingly always does well for all of our clients is life story, and being able to construct and script and tell a good story, you know, with the added production value always just works. So my best advice is you know, rather than thinking of like what viral concepts and frameworks can I give to my client, it's like how can I bring out the best of my client, of what's already there, and just enhance it. Because what you're really doing is you're just enhancing what's already there. You're not turning nothing into something.
Someone that's making 50K or like would be willing to pay us 50K a month could like try and pay us to like go work with them, and it's like if they're not a fit, like we're just not going to do it, because now we're tying our name to this person and we're not going to be able to go get them results. Because like some people, it's like no matter what you do for them, they're just not going to get results, and like we know that and we can see those people. So it's like if we're not, like if we don't work with someone, it's like that's why.
Another thing too, I think the biggest thing for you guys, like you guys, you as soon as you set your standard to that, like you started only working with the right people, everybody kind of knows. Like once you're that person and you see that the kind of people that you align with or are in your network, and everybody's, it's kind of like touching, like it was basically making the decision to not work with the wrong people. And as soon as you make that decision, you just attract more of the right people. Because those people know, it's like the brand, it's a big brand aspect too. Because like I know if I go to you guys, like, it's gonna get done right. I know it's gonna be good. You know what I mean? And it's just setting that standard.
Like we've had people come to us with specific projects and they're like, yo, like can you do this for me? Like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna attach my brand to that because I don't think that we can do that to the best of our abilities for what it actually is. And I don't think we're gonna be passionate about seeing it all the way through. So we're just not gonna do it.
YouTube ads, this is going to be a little bit different than how I normally do it, but I want to keep it more organic. So at the highest level, right, let's just think about what YouTube ads is, okay? So YouTube ads is Google ads, okay? You run YouTube ads through Google ads. Google ads is an entire ecosystem, okay? So within Google ads, you have different types of ads you can run. There's YouTube ads, there's Google discovery ads, there's search ads, there's shopping ads, right? So obviously the primary one that we use at our agency is YouTube ads. Right? Now there's different types of YouTube ads as well. You can see that if I zoom in here, these are all different types of YouTube ads. There's the skippable after the first 5 seconds that everyone skips, right? And then there's the what we call discovery ads, in-feed ads, right? These are the ones that show up as a suggested video on someone's YouTube home feed, YouTube video suggested feed, and those are the ones that actually just lead them to a YouTube video, which is actually an ad. But they watch it as a YouTube video, okay? And then there's the actual YouTube ads that show up on third-party websites like ESPN.com, Yahoo, Bing, right? Those other traffic channels. The reason why most people fail with YouTube ads, and I'll just put this one in the slideshow for now, is because of the offer and the way it's packaged and positioned to the marketplace and the creative. And so like Nick was saying earlier, right, with how you're packaging and positioning your offer to the marketplace, if you're talking to two different people, for example, traders who are interested in taking their trading income to the next level, completely different person than someone who might be interested in trading as another way to make income. You have to sell those two people completely differently. Would you guys agree? That's why most people fail, because they don't have an offer that's packaged and positioned properly to be able to scale the cold traffic. They're taking an offer that's good organically, and then they try running it with the same messaging to an audience that's cold. And when it doesn't work, then they're like, oh, well, YouTube ads doesn't work. But it's not that YouTube ads doesn't work, it's the way that you package and position the offer. And so for the perfect YouTube ad script, right, obviously everything comes down to the hook. You only have 5 seconds before someone skips, right? And so that's why what most people what most people do wrong with YouTube ads, and I actually relearned this again from Alex Becker recently when I was watching some of his old YouTube ads trainings. And most people try to do like the pattern interrupt style, like, hey, right? Like they try to get your attention. Well, the better way to get attention than just like kind of doing that pattern interrupt BS is just by actually calling out the audience and who they are and being specific to who you're talking to. Disqualify everyone who's not someone you want to talk to. And so what we can do is we make a big promise or claim. If you're a trader who's struggling to get profitable trades using stock options, then listen to me for the next 30 seconds because I'm going to show you a very specific, very simple system that can allow you to go from, I don't know, trading and losing money each and every time to trading and making money consistently without only doing in only 30 minutes a day. Right. It's like that hook is automatically going to work way better than like some random pattern interrupt where you're like trying to talk to a wide variety of people and they're like, what the hell is this? Another way is you can ask a question. Are you a trader who's losing money? Trading stock options? Yeah. Easy. Call out your ideal customer. Well, I just did that in the question. Act out the problem or mistake your clients or customers make. Are you a real estate agent in Malta and you can't get clients or new listings for homes? Or you can't sell more clients or whatever? That's obviously going to work pretty well because it's very specific. Yeah. Oh, you can combine either of the above, right? You can combine either of the above. The biggest YouTube ad myth debunked. Does YouTube ads harm my organic channel's growth? That's what she's concerned about, right? Yeah. Okay. So Charlie Morgan, before working with us, 22,000 subscribers in March of 23, according to Social Blade. 20,200 subscribers exactly. After working with us, 109,000 subscribers. As of March 24, 2024, so a year later, in total we've spent close to, according to this, right, 600,000, total revenue 1.4 million, total profit about $1 million. $1 million in total profit in about a year, right? What happened here? Did he lose subscribers? Did it hurt his growth? No. Why? Because Google's never going to penalize your channel for spending money on it to grow it. Yeah. So if you stay consistent with your organic content like Charlie did, and you add ads to it, it's only going to help it grow faster. The problem is most people, they stop posting organic content consistently and only start relying on ads because it's easier to get customers faster, and they take their eyes off the thing that actually got them to the dance in the first place. As a result, their channel doesn't grow, and therefore they're not growing. So long story short, the way you tell her that is you show her this, right? You set up the count like this, one YouTube channel, your main YouTube channel. You run ads from your main YouTube channel to get more customers, which is only going to grow your channel.
Oh my God, I'm just playing with them now, yeah. Oh my God, what she saying, say it loud, yeah. I can't respect it, I'm in the gym, but I am not flexing. Came from a Ford, I'm needing a Lexus. Shooting like Luke, I told him I'm next, shit.
What's good, it's Jesse Rogers here, Casper SMC. I'm here at the Admin Mastermind with Brian and the gang. It's awesome, tons of value, glad I came. Highly recommend it if you're doing any kind of YouTube ads, YouTube organic, or really just in the info space at all, or any online sales, so highly recommend. Plus a good time, out here smoking cigars, Arizona, it's a vibe, hell yeah. Day one was awesome. Now I got a bunch of actionable stuff, which is nice, because you go to some places, it's like a bunch of air, kind of, you know, but it's actual step-by-step stuff you could put plays into motion with.
Day 2 of the Admin Mastermind, I got my good friend David Dre, who flew all the way from Iraq to Arizona to be here with me.
That's right.
David, thank you so much for coming, my friend.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure.
Are you as excited as I am?
I'm very excited. You know, it's very small, which is to the benefit of the people we're going to speak to. So it's very intimate. Yes. You know, and I think intimacy is very important in a mastermind. And Brian understands, you understand the value of that, right? So we're going to get very deep, and yeah, I'm excited, man, because there's a lot of stuff to cover. And I got a lot of stuff to talk about, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. The members are about to be blown away because David has a wisdom, a fountain of experience, and I've personally been able to be blessed to work with him over the last 2 years. He's helped me scale my business. He's the one that sold me, 2 years ago.
That's right, that's right.
And it was one of the best sales and the best payments I've ever made in my entire life.
And the cameraman was the one who was filming it at that time.
Filming it at that time, 100%.
Yeah. We're all connected now.
Yeah, and it's been a blessing to be able to see him grow as well, and just be able to be a friend of someone like this, man. This guy truly is a stand-up man.
You see, you know, like attracts like, man, you know, so I'm just happy to be here with you as well, bro, because you keeps it real, and, you know, just like I said, care for the people we're going to speak with, so I know it's going to be a great collaboration, 100%. For sure.
Okay, if you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, holy hell, how did I miss this? This mastermind looked sick, and how did I miss the one they did in Miami on the biggest yacht on New Year's Eve, Great Gatsby style, cheersing to the New Year's? How did I miss that? And now this? Then I have a breaking news announcement for you, because right now I'm gonna give to you the next event location we're gonna do this at. We're gonna have another event just like the one you're watching right now, another in-person Admin Mastermind, and I want you to be there, okay? But this time, it's gonna be even bigger and even better. And you might be wondering, Brian, why are you wearing all of this clothing when you clearly live in Arizona and it's 108 degrees outside? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking the Admin Mastermind outside of the country for the very first time and going abroad to Europe to celebrate in the middle of October from the dates of the 11th to the 13th to celebrate in person in none other than Dublin, motherfucking Ireland. We're taking this show to the road, to the Mac Attack, because Conor McGregor is motherfucking back in the greatest comeback in sports history, and we're having dinner in his restaurant, the Black Forge, and I want you to be there. If you miss Miami, if you miss Arizona, click the link in the description, apply to join the Mastermind, because I want you there to not miss this, because this will, my friends, be history in the making. Bring your overcoats, bring your suit jackets, and bring your admin attire, because we are going to Dublin, Ireland, and I want you to be there. Click the link, and I'll see you there. Let's go. Woo!
Surprise, motherfucker! The king is back!
Anyone just jump in and just say what you want to talk about. With regards to sales teams, sales management, recruitment, and Cole way more wider, operations, you know, maybe P&L, anything like that.
You can ask Emin any question you want.
Yeah.
I can answer all of your questions.
Yeah, I know you can.
One thing that I'm curious about, so before I had my offer, I used to be in sales manager myself, but for solar, it wasn't info.
Right.
One of the things that I've seen that is a consistent disparity in that industry and kind of info sales is a lot of closers I wrote to info, like the Jeremy Hayes were like fat cat closers. Essentially, they don't want to do anything except show up for Zoom call.
Right.
And they don't want to manage. We've implemented things like sweeper roles to, basically be doing follow-ups after a certain time, but trying to get these guys to actually consistently follow up with their pipelines, other than just people that, are coming in, because we have a lot of lead flow, a lot of bookings, right?
Right. So how do you find salespeople that are actually salespeople in info? Because they're just like, let me sit down, some guy told me all I have to do is take inbound calls and I'm lazy.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Yeah. So let's just say finding
Let
real
me answer
salespeople.
that right now. I know we're making a list, but this is such an easy answer. So here's what you do. You just want to write this down. It's like a step by step. I got to think. So number one is it's all culture. So it's like you have to create a culture where missing your projections and your numbers, which that's a whole other topic in terms of how to do that, is unacceptable. Okay, so that's step one. Create culture where missing numbers is not acceptable. Step two is essentially, as the person ramps, edging their numbers to where you want them to be at a place where even if they do everything perfectly, they only have like a 75, 80% chance of hitting it. Okay? And so with those two things happen, if those two things happen, then essentially they have to do follow-up. They might not use the exact system or process that you tell them to use, but they will do, like, it's essentially here's a different way in the two steps. I actually kind of messed it up. But what I said was correct. Is number one is create the culture where missing it is unacceptable. Number two is like you just make the projections high enough where it's impossible to hit it without follow-up. So I'll give you an example, is like when I sold a traffic and funnels, we had a culture where missing projections, not acceptable. Like you just didn't want to show up to a meeting not hitting your numbers. And so, but on the inbound calendar, to be honest, if I was the type of guy who would just do like an inbound appointment, and then I'd follow up once or twice. If I was that type of guy, I could have maybe hit like 4 to 5 units a week, but I would regularly hit 7 to 10 units a week. And so all of that extra came from the follow-up, but 4 to 5 wasn't the expectation, it was the 7 to 10. Does that make sense? Yeah, so like, see that's the thing is, a lot of people ask like, well, what's the right system for follow-up? Or like, what's the cadence? What's the system and how do I hold them accountable to it? It's like, but if you so like that is like a thing you can address, but at a higher level, it's like, what's the one thing that makes that conversation completely unnecessary? Like Gary Keller question, right? What's the one thing that makes that unnecessary? It's just like having a culture where the standards are so high that like literally you can't even be on the team to hit, you can't even produce the numbers needing to get produced without being great at pipeline, and great at follow-up and long-term follow-up. And then also providing them the right training on how to do it, you know, that's part of it. But that just takes care of it, like that, because that's what happened with me. Is I was like, dude, I gotta figure that. Like nobody told me how to do follow-up at TF. I just was like, well, I either gotta figure it out or I'm not gonna be on this team, you know. And so that, and then the other thing though is that we never really have issues with it because it's just like our team is like, okay, we teach this stuff, and we're like everybody on that team believes this is the best team in the industry. And so it's like, this is just what's expected of the best team in the industry. If you want to go be lazy as fuck, go work for somebody else.
From an angle perspective, so we work with a lot of clients in the trading niche, and like what I've noticed with that is, even when I see ads, most ads, right? Like a few years ago when stocks were like really a crazy biz op during the pandemic, people were getting away with anything, and the big thing was like, everyone was pitching their way of doing it, like the secret way or like this new way of doing it. Whether that be somebody with like some kind of signal, or you know, this is a new way of doing it.
Yeah, everything worked, dude, in 2020 and 2021, in early 2022, everything worked.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what I was alluding to with the trading stuff is like, you know, some of the angles we've been exploring with Jesse and also Justin, who was over here with the VSL, is the way we're doing it is like, we're not really selling a method, it's more like, we're selling the educator, if that makes sense. Like we will help you implement the information you already know. So what do you, I don't know if you have any experience in the trading industry or what your thoughts on that are. Versus like selling something like,
I mean, look, if you run an ad.
Because I feel like traders know like no strategy is going to make you successful. It's kind of about what's up in here. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that can work. You just got to find a way to like, you know, you're still going to follow the same marketing framework no matter what. But what you're saying is really your unique selling proposition, mechanism, whatever, is like not knowing more information. It's about execution and like mindset and being able to. So like, you know, you follow the same marketing framework, but instead of it being a secret method, your method is like more of the mindset and execution or whatever you want to call it, right? So it's the same thing though. It's like, hey, most traders think this, and that's their mistake, because when they think that or they do that, the real problem is this. You know, after working with all these traders and after doing this myself and after getting this result and after all of this experience and writing 10 books on it, I found really it comes down to this. Like, you know, it's, you know how like that's it's the same marketing approach. It's just like you're swapping out kind of the angle, right? And you're going from the XYZ method to the whatever mindset and execution thing you do. You know, it's like it's the same thing. That could be good, yeah.
No, it's very similar to what we used to do at consulting. Everything that Sam did was about being polarizing. And it was usually the opposite message to what was popular. So we used to always appeal to the skeptics. And the skeptics were the ones who had money. And they were the ones who were more likely to believe in the solution. So we would say marketing is bullshit. Even though we were marketing, that marketing was bullshit.
Like one of our best ads right now, don't steal it, please, says, the banner says cancel ClickFunnels. So you want to cancel ClickFunnels? Yeah. So you want to like take, this works in any market, but it's like, take something everybody believes to be true and then tell them like crap on it, you know? That works.
Yeah. Especially if it's true. If you believe it, will come across very well.
The most important thing with YouTube is, I would say 100 videos over 2 years. Okay, if you do nothing else, you have to be consistent. I know it's like the most basic advice. 100 videos over 2 years, 1 video a week, long form. And just my layman's recommendation, 10 to 15 minutes a video. That's it, okay? So every single week I upload Mondays at 7:30 a.m., 10 to 15 minute long form video. Now in this long form video, right, I view it like this. Hook. Sorry for the chicken scratch. I hope you guys can see this. This is a video. You have a hook that's like the first thing you start with. Then you have 3 points in that video, and you end with a simple call to action, okay? So this is how I view an overall video. Is not like, okay, what are the 100 things I need to convey in this video, but what are the 3 things? So how I view topics, someone throw out a topic of what you guys could potentially make a video on. Trading. Trading, okay, great. So if you were to teach now we have the topic, if you were to teach someone that one topic, trading, what are the 3 things they need to know about this, and how can I make it interesting? This is like, my whole philosophy is don't be boring. Okay, that's it on YouTube. If you just write that in your notes, the best YouTube advice, don't be boring. So how can you make the 3 points as interesting as possible? So what would be like, let's just do a basic one, stock trading for beginners, right? That's a great topic right there. Or how to make your first, what's realistic, $10,000 trading stocks? $10,000 a month if I were to start over a day. Okay, great. So what would be like the 3 main things, now that we have our topic, that if we told them to do, could help get them there?
Oh, like super broad, just trading? Well,
yeah.
I would say like 3 pillars would be strategy, like the technical side of it, the risk side of it, and the mental side of it. And then those would be the 3 pillars.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. These are 3 things you can add to not be boring. Stories, studies, or actions. So if I'm doing like how to trade stocks, and what was the first point you said?
Strategy.
Strategy. This would be great. There's a simple framework you guys can use. Let me tell you a brief story when I got started trading stocks. It was terrible, XYZ happened, it was so painful, and then I realized I didn't have the right strategy. Then I started implementing the strategy, ABC happened, 1, 2, 3 happened, amazing. That little story takes a kind of vanilla point, like a strategy, and just adds some flavor to it. Yeah. Stories are like cheat codes. And I don't mean like you need this big, long, drawn-out story with a protagonist and pain and gain. And I think some YouTube advice can get a little technical with storytelling. People obsess over it a little too much, especially for what we do, which is more educational. You just need like 30-second anecdotes to illustrate your point. Goes a huge way into not making boring content. Studies are good. So if you can research before, and there's like 3 phases. There's the pre, the during, and post of YouTube, right? So the pre-YouTube, this is pre-production. This is you getting an outline. This is you finding any stats or research around it. The more you prepare, the easier the filming and editing will be. So I like to front load all my content with doing a decent amount of research. And again, I'm thinking, okay, what's interesting about this? Can I find some facts? Can I find some stories? And I actually go a step further. I use Notion, and I'll spend like 2 hours on a Saturday writing just little anecdotes about my life that I can put in videos. So little stories that you remember. Maybe even this week, this would be a good exercise. Anytime a story pops in your head about childhood or about your day-to-day, just like the same way you would collect a bank for emails, right? Soap opera sequence or Seinfeld emails, if you ever heard that. Start writing it in a little Notion bank or your notes on your phone. Yeah. And you can tie those in YouTube videos, and that is a game changer. That is how you get so many stories. Yeah. Because someone asked, like, how do you stop saying the same thing over and over? The truth is that you will say the same thing over and over, and that's totally okay. There's only so many ways you can tell someone you need the right strategy, you need to manage risk or whatever in your niche, right? I mean, with self-improvement, there's only so many ways I can say, you know, you gotta have goals, you gotta get your mindset right, you gotta have habits, etc. But the stories are what really differentiate the topic and do take what you've already said and make it new again.
Day 2 is officially wrapped up. I got my good friend Clark Kegley here with me now to share a few top takeaways with you, because I invited Clark here for one reason and one reason only, because I've seen him personally grow his brand to an entirely different level by just simply being who he authentically is. That was one thing that I heard a lot of members getting stuck with this weekend, Clark, that I was telling you about in their own head about what content should I create. I do this for my business, but I don't really like talking about this on my channel, so it's keeping me stuck. And I'm glad that you came to talk about them, man. And what was one thing that you took away from the room after you laid out your entire strategy to help them grow, man?
personally, what I took away from my talk.
Just being able to share up there with these people. What was the one thing that you learned maybe from something that they were struggling with too?
Yeah, the ability we all have to judge before we act. And I think that's huge. Everyone talks about the power of positive visualization, just sit in a room and picture yourself in 10 years and everything's going right.
Yeah.
But what we do every day that's more common is negative visualization, and that's just fear.
Yeah.
That's seeing what could go wrong and what will go wrong and trying to predict so you can prevent that. But the secret is not having clarity so you can take action. It's taking action and then you find your clarity. And so just getting moving. I know it's like very fundamental, basic, rudimentary advice, but everything goes out the window when you're in a room with a camera and you get really stiff and nervous and oh my God, it's gonna eat me alive.
Yeah.
Put all that away. Just force yourself to film a video and realize it's not half as bad as you think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
That the negative visualization of what's gonna go wrong or what people are gonna say or they're gonna roast me or haters, none of that exists. It's all in your head.
Yeah, man. And how was your experience just attending the Mastermind, bro? Being able to speak and see it with us, with your own experience. Because you've seen me, dude. Yeah. We've been friends for almost 5 years, man. You know what's crazy is like just being able to be here today I'm so thankful to even have you as a friend and just be able to speak at this Mastermind, man.
Yeah, man, it's a full circle moment, huh? We met 5 years ago in a room like this.
In a room just like this.
And I remember you telling me you wanted to have yours one day.
Wow.
And I've seen you build this thing from the ground up, dude. So seeing it come full circle and then getting to be a part of it, which inviting me to speak here.
100%.
That was awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I
couldn't think of anybody else to speak, man.
Yeah, it was a cool moment to see your friend crushing it and changing lives.
It, dude. Thank you so much for being here.
You bet, dude. Proud of you.
Thank you.
When the bass hit your face, you be like. When the bass hit your face, you be like. When the bass hit your face, you be like.
Think about it like this: what's the best way to give people the best experience and have a memory that they can have forever? And this is exactly what we're doing here. What other mastermind takes you to their own home, have you experience their own life for a day, have a sauna, cold plunge of the mastermind, and just make the memories? You know, this is like what it's all about. Mastermind, learning the content, that's great, but like this is where the real money's made: the network, the connections, the memories, the experiences. So, yeah, what better way to end the weekend with a sauna? And then everybody getting in the cold plunge for at least 5 minutes.
Give me something that'll get the people. I got something that'll get the people. Give me something that'll get the people. I got something that'll get the people.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to a close. The Admin Mastermind in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona has officially come to a close. And I couldn't have asked for a better mastermind event. Arizona, the second one we've ever done, bringing everybody to where we live and showing them exactly how the admin lives his life. And more importantly, day 1, all the members getting to know each other. Day 2, the guest speakers. Day 3, wellness and recovery day. Couldn't have asked for a better event and a better experience for the members to come here in Arizona and see what it's like to live life together. This was an amazing event. I can't say it more than enough, and I wish you were here. Truly, I really do. Because it's memories like this, masterminds like the one that we're in right now, that can dramatically change your life, just like they changed my life for me too. So, if you're on the fence about joining a mastermind, hopefully the Admin Mastermind, this is your sign that there is no better time to do it than right now. Hopefully I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.